Hey, let me do my first check-in for Akata Warrior by Nnedi Okorafor. This is the second in the Akata Witch series. First one published in 2011. This one published in 2017. So 6 years in between, which, for the YA market is somewhat of an eternity. So we know right off the bat that Nnedi Okorafor, it's not really a commercial writer. She's not churning out the books. And indeed, her series really does seem to defy a lot of the stuff that you kind of would expect from sort of YA fiction. Um, Maybe starts off with Sunny herself, who is an albino Nigerian American girl. In the first book, she is like 12, I think turns 13 in that book. And she and her friends have an adventure after she is initiated as one of the leopard people, the magic people in this thing, and we're all lambs. It's like leopards are not just Nigerians, they're people all over the world, and lambs are non-magical people, can be Nigerians or people all over the world. Hers is very, very much, her power is definitely kind of is rooted though in the structure of a kind of Nigerian folklore religion. They are going up against a spirit and summoned by masquerade, which is calling a spirit. And in the first book, the villain, the so-called villain of the piece, Black Hat, who is this ritual killer of children, in the end they find they survive because there's book number 2, and that villain is dealt with in a very kind of like, oh yeah, we dealt with that. Okay, now on to the actual story, which is much more about her gaining, I guess, more self-knowledge about herself. It's much more coming of age than it is the magical adventure. Though the cool powers are definitely, a thing in there, and her learning stuff. But it's a lot of the stuff is it's learning to, teamwork, to self-reliance, self-discipline. There's a lot of, suspiciously non-magical things that seem to get represented magically in these books. I was for the first book, I was kind of a little bit narratively dissatisfied because it felt very much like this isn't a full story. We had this like little encounter with somebody Black Hat, who is built up to be this big villain, but then he's not actually the main villain, and we push him aside, and that's that. So Akata Warrior, this is going from it's like tracks 1 to 10, we'll call it, where again there's another book. In the first book there was it's fast tips for what is it? Oh, I can't see if it's already fallen out of my head. Fast tips for she is a not independent. What the hell is she? See, now I'm losing this. All this stuff is falling out. She is an independent contractor. I'm sorry. She is not somebody who's got kind of established magical lines. Her parents aren't leopards, but her grandmother was, and she discovers this over the course of the first novel. But she is still considered a independent in this system. She doesn't have the family backing, which makes her somewhat of a lower person. And the book that she reads is very prejudiced against people who are not full kind of fully born into the system, and have grown up with it. I guess she only discovers this when she's 12 or 13 because her parents, who are both lambs, they can't know about it, because that's one of the other things with leopards, is that you're sworn to secrecy. And indeed, you're magically sworn to secrecy, that you physically cannot pronounce the words that would actually let anyone outside of the leopard society know about it. But at the end of the last book, she discovered her grandmother, and discovered this book that she's been working through, a book where it's written with strange symbols which move if you're actually magically attuned to it. Has shifting meanings. You can read the same page different ways. If you're not ready for it, you'll end up vomiting and you won't get anywhere with it. And she's been working. In the opening bits of this book, she's working her way through that book. Sometimes vomiting, but sometimes learning stuff. At which point, this chitin coins fall from the air. They never hurt you when they fall from the air. They never land on you, and then that's kind of the magical currency of leopard culture. And she's been earning it that way. And indeed, she as she progresses in being able to read the book, that does thing. She's got she has a mentor. I'm thinking Peaches and Cream, but I probably got that wrong. It is she's studying with Sugar Cream and struggling to unlock the secrets in her strange Nisibidi book. And yeah, just working to figure out that. Also still continuing to kind of do this double life of being initiated into the leopard society. Now, what has just happened is that as she's come home from one of these kind of learning excursions and stuff like that, her oldest brother, who had gone off to university, who had kind of made her life hell, but it got better with her becoming. So
counseled.
Yeah. But had Jacques given me an update. He went away to university, but now he's come back all in the middle of the night, bloodied, needing to get the money out. And what's happened is that a gang, fraternity, weird kind of society that has teachers and students in it, has a head who's a capo. So it's really kind of gangish, has decided to initiate him against his will into the Red Shark Society. And the first night they take him away, they almost beat him to death as a part of the initiation. And it's like, he says, like, this area in the bush, it's like it's filled with students' bones, the ones who didn't make it out. His friend, who is the one who ended up probably pointing him out and sucking him in to this society, he's a big guy. He's a guy who's like head of the soccer team. He's a guy who studies hard. He's like the golden son. His name means God's gift, and he's God's gift to the women because he has lots and lots of girlfriends. And then they bring him back another night and they yank out one of his teeth and replace it with a sharp tooth, saying, like, and bleed him and say, like, you're now initiated into this thing. It's blood. And the thing is, he's seen all their faces, so if he tries to run, they're going to kill him. But he says, like, they want me to come back the next night to do 3 things for him, and he knows that one of those things is probably going to be to harm or kill somebody, and there's no way in hell he wants to do that. And Sonny's like, man, I've also been initiated into a secret society, and I also am sworn to secrecy, except I magically cannot do it. But it's also, I'm getting more in touch with my actual heritage, and I'm actually doing this with kind of my own volition versus this is like a horrible kind of unwilling initiation into, like, sucking you into a life to do horrible things. She might have to do horrible things, though. Spoiler alert. That's my, not that I've read ahead, but that would be my thought, is she's going to probably have to do unpleasant things. And it's like she's surprised by exactly how angry this makes her, hearing about what's happened to her brother. And it's like she's not going to let this stand. But it'll be an interesting test to see what someone of the leopard culture can do in the wider lamb community against them, because you get in major trouble if you use your powers against lambs. So, I guess we will see. We'll see what Sonny is able to do. Okay, so that is my check-in with A Kata Warrior by Nnedi Okorafor. And most likely this will all be at nighttime from now on, except it's snowing at the moment, so I might as well. I have to do it inside because I'm probably not going to do it tonight when I get home from all the shoveling and stuff like that. We're in the winter storm. It's the February the 13th, and there's tons and tons of snow. Oh boy, I'm gonna go out and plow some more snow right now. Oh joy.